Texas left tackle Connor Williams on Monday became the first of many to declare for the 2018 NFL Draft, and the first of a small but surely growing contingent to skip his team's bowl game in the name of preparing for said draft. Williams follows the lead of Christian McCaffrey and Leonard Fournette, who skipped their respective bowl games last year. Despite much hand-wringing about the move, neither player was penalized by the NFL. Fournette was taken 4th overall by the Jacksonville Jaguars, and 8th by the Carolina Panthers. Williams is expected to be a possible top 10 pick as well. Williams missed most of this season after injuring his knee in a September 16 loss at USC, but did return for the Longhorns' win over West Virginia on November 18 and lost to Texas Tech on Friday. Texas Lieutenant Connor Williams did say he will skip playing in the bowl game. My family and I have decided it is my best interest to forego the bowl game in my senior season to begin preparing for my professional football career. Anwar Richardson at Anwar Richardson. November 27, 2017. Williams is the first what should be a large class of Texas players either declaring for the NFL draft or transferring, as Tennessee's botched coaching search plunges further down the social media rabbit hole. There was yet another development earlier today that will likely leave lawyers on both sides licking their billable horse chops. At least 3 media outlets Monday, Knoxville News Sentinel, Chattanooga Times Free Press, ESPN.com reported that its Chancellor Beverly Davenport never signed a memorandum of understanding between the university and Greg Schiano, the former Rutgers head coach and current Ohio State defensive coordinator, had been athletic director John Currie's choice to replace Butch Jones before a backlash driven by social media and fueled by a third-hand connection to the Jerry Sandusky scandal at Penn State forced the university to back away from a hiring. It was thought that, because Schiano and Currie had signed the memorandum, Schiano would be entitled to some sort of compensation stemming from an agreement so far down the road that, according to Peter King of MMQB.com, a plane was in Columbus Sunday afternoon set to take both to an introductory press conference in Knoxville later that evening. However, the fact that Davenport hadn't signed the document has led some to question whether Schiano has a legal leg to stand on if he were to pursue some type of lawsuit against it. Without Davenport's signature, the memorandum could lack legal credibility. If Schiano were to pursue litigation against Tennessee, the Times Free Press wrote, one veteran athletic director told ESPN that if the chancellor's signature was missing, he would not consider the document to be fully executed and therefore legally binding, the WWL noted. However, if it was Currie or it alone backing away from a signed agreement, Schiano and his lawyers could still have a case if they choose to pursue it. I deeply regret the events of yesterday for everyone involved, Davenport said in a statement released earlier Monday. The university remains steadfast in its commitment to excellence, and I look forward to John Currie continuing the search to bring the next head football coach to the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. Since Currie allowed social media to turn the search for a head coach into a laughable three-earing clown show, one Penn State trustee came out very publicly in Schiano's defense, as have Bill Belichick here and Urban Meyer here. Conversely, there is growing speculation that Currie, who was hired 9 months ago, may not survive this debacle as some boosters behind the scene are pushing for his ouster. Regardless, as much as the Volunteers have struggled on the field the last several years, they're now even more laughable off of it. Good luck. Thanks to acquiescing to a vocal Twitter minority, getting anyone of substance to come to Rocky Top and help resurrect the once proud football program. And the dance continues, or heats up, depending on your point of view. Even prior to Mike Riley's dismissal as Nebraska's head coach, rumors connecting Scott Frost to the potential opening were so rampant that Frost's current employer, UCF, announced a funding initiative in mid-October to further enhance the football program's operating resources that they hope will help fend off would-be suitors. 2 weeks later, new athletic director Bill Moos very publicly lavished praise on Frost. With Riley officially canned earlier this month, the Frost to Cornhuskers speculation picked up steam. Monday, Frost added fuel to that fire when asked for his reaction to Moos confirming he had already spoken to those around the head coach to gauge his interest in coming home, and Frost's use of the willwould verb tense should be noted and of interest as well. I'd be hurt if Nebraska wasn't interested in me, Frost said according to the Tampa Bay Times. We're undefeated. I'm from there. Every year in college football there's tough decisions to make, and those kind of things happen. And when the time's right, we'll make him. I know it will be really hard to leave this team because of how much love I have for this group of guys and how much effort they've given us. For those unaware, Frost is a former Nebraska quarterback who was born and raised in the state and, as the second-year head coach at UCF, has the Knights ranked 12th nationally at 110 heading into the AAC championship game this Saturday. And that's coming off a 6-win first season for the 42-year-old Frost with a program that was winless the year before he arrived. Whether Frost goes home as most think he will remains to be seen, but should play out, one way or the other, in the coming days. More than likely, not very long after the AAC title game ends. After stunning the college football world by beating 3 Oklahoma and 4 TCU in the span of a month, Matt Campbell rocketed to superstardom among the coaching ranks. And now he's getting paid for it. Iowa State announced a new contract for Campbell on Monday night, one that pays him an average of $3.5 million over the life of the 6-year term. Excited to announce Matt Campbell has agreed to a new 6-year contract worth $22.5 million. Matt's annual salary will increase from $2.1 million to $3.5 million. We will also increase the football staff's annual compensation by $1 million. Go Cyclones raiseth their standard, Jamie Pollard at I stated November 27, 2017. Matt and I agreed during the season to wait until after his last regular season game to have these discussions. Pollard said in a statement. Matt, Erica Campbell, Ellen Pollard and I met last night at our house and had a wonderful discussion about what matters to their family, their staff and our program. It is awesome that we share common values about loyalty, hard work and family. I could not be more excited for our fans and our student athletes to have someone like Matt leading our program. He stands behind what he says and I look forward to helping him fulfill his dream of making Iowa State football one of the best programs in the nation, said Campbell. I want to thank Jamie Pollard for respecting my desire to hold off these conversations until our regular season ended and also for being proactive in supporting the needs of my staff and team as we build a legacy at Iowa State University. The commitment that he and Iowa State have made to us, including some exciting facility enhancements on the horizon, has been critical to my vision for our team going forward. Campbell led Iowa State to a 75 mark this fall, starting at 62 and rising as high as number 15 in the CFP poll at one point, and also garnered reported interest from Nebraska and Tennessee. Still just 37 years old, Campbell has won 10 games in his 2 seasons in Ames and owns 45 wins total as a head coach. Texas couldn't run the ball this season, and one of the players tasked with running that ball is on his way out the door. Texas left tackle Connor Williams also declared for the NFL draft on Monday. Running back Chris Warren intends to transfer, as first reported by Jason Suchomel of Orange Bloods and since confirmed by many in the Austin media. Not long after, Warren announced the decision on Twitter. Warren actually started last season ahead of Donta Foreman on the depth chart, but quickly dropped behind the future Doak Walker Award winner, Kyle Porter was the opening day starter for Texas this season, and the job eventually was passed around amongst a committee. Warren carried the ball 71 times, second most among running backs, for 314 yards and 6 touchdowns. The bulk of those yards came against San Jose State, when he rushed 16 times for 166 yards and 2 touchdowns, meaning Warren carried 55 times for 148 yards and 1 score over the other 11 games. He made his mark as a pass catcher in limited opportunity, and moved to tight end later in the year, catching 18 passes for 229 yards and 2 touchdowns. That position switch is the impetus for Warren's impending school switch, however. A junior from Rockwall, Texas, Warren would have to sit out a year unless he manages to graduate and play immediately as a graduate transfer. With Warren out of the mix, the Texas running back rotation will consist of Porter and true freshmen Toniel Carter and Daniel Young.